Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Good to have you. Introducing the legend himself, non-profit prophet, the epitome representation of a citizen nation. Words encapsulate the many problems which we are facing. The engineer to the designer, the flame of the fire that forms a platform for citizens that elevate higher. The sound of the trumpet, warning war has begun between the rebel aliens and the ignorant ones. Bringing my fellow citizens to the plane that I'm from, cause ignorance will leave your brain dead, same as a slug. A straight shooter focused like a laser, same as my gun. The epitome and summary of all the above. Bridging gaps like overpasses, hence I'm bridging the masses. Breaking barriers and walls and involved in smashes. I'm a general, a captain, a lieutenant, and leader. Since following examples of my citizen senior, the pillars of wisdom, my professors and teachers, all citizens studious to progressive procedure. Now I carry the torch, non-profit, prophet, and preacher, gatekeeper to the kingdom, epitome St. Peter, liberian savior, Luciferian Jesus, with the power to convert you by the end of this thesis. These are words of the written in a reflective condition. Free your mind from any system interjecting suspicion. Keep your logic and reasoning, common sense in your wisdom. The only tools you need to have when your adventure begins. Pay attention, citizens, to the words that I'm speaking. Every Sunday at 4 o'clock, it's real talk on Vendetti's block. All right. Welcome to Vendetti's block. Episode 6.
Is episode 6 already?
Already.
Stop it.
Already.
Just stop,
We're
baby.
running through it.
You're right.
Running through it. We've made a compile of self-help shows that if you listen to all of them, citizens, you're on the right track.
Yeah, you can take it to the bank because it will work.
Take it to the bank, cash it in it's a win. Yeah. What's going on, Steve?
I'm just hanging, Joker. How you doing, buddy?
Oh man, it's been a rough week.
It's been a rough week.
I'm not gonna lie, it's been.
What's happening with your week, man? What's you know?
Well, as you see right now, I'm doing stuff while I'm doing stuff.
Yeah, I see you doing stuff as you're doing stuff, man.
The whole week, it's just, and I don't know if I got food poisoning or if I had some kind of viral. Man, I can't, if I get stomach issues and like the digest, oh man, I'm out. I'm
okay.
on a mission. I'm not trying to do nothing.
Okay, a lot of that's been going around. People have just been real tired.
I talked to one of my people who's like, yeah, there's a couple of viruses going around that are GI related. And I'm like, oh man. And because I love to eat,
right?
You know, and everybody was cooking, and I'm just looking at food, like, and I know what's gonna happen if I eat it. I'm like, so I was like pretty much, you know, fasting.
Right, and it would have been best if you didn't go to like someplace and eat crab or something. You know what I'm saying, Joe? Because that's not real good on the old belly when you're eating crab and you're not feeling good with your GI tract off.
Well, I'll tell you what I did last night, though. I went to
Hoo-Hot. Oh, Hoo-Hot?
I went to Hoo-Hot.
Hey, man, that's some free publicity. Hoo-Hot, you got that? Hoo-Hot.
I had to test it out. I was like, let's see if I'm ready for it, because one of my bros is barbecue, and I was like, I got to see if I'm ready for beer and barbecue. And
right.
So I was like, if I can contain this Hoo-Hot, good.
He had to warm it up is what he had to do.
You know,
he had to warm his stomach up. Then he could go to his barbecue.
Right. And that was off the chain. But, yeah, so what's been going on with you, Mr. Lindsay? You good?
Yeah, working hard, man. Getting some, just down there at the Midwest Life Center, doing my thing, working hard, getting some people on track, and it's really, really good to see. Makes the heart glad when you can do that, man. It really does.
I feel that.
Yeah, help me get out there after life, man. That's what's up.
I'm glad we're back on the show because we didn't do the show last week. It was Mother's Day, and there was a bunch of, circumstances that were, you can't really help some things sometimes. You just got to let it go and then just, get back on it.
Yeah, and you got to give mom some love, baby.
Exactly.
That's what's up.
Give a shout out to all the moms.
The family dynamic, right? Yeah.
The pinnacles of the family dynamic.
Amen. Moms,
well done. We love you.
For sure.
If you're out there doing a good job, we're applauding you. We recognize you. We love you. Keep doing it. Stay on it. So today...
Hold on. Stay on it. Doggone
it. Doggone it. Stay on it. Doggone it. That might have to be one of our little quick
Stay on it. Doggone it.
Stay on it. Doggone it.
Right on.
Sure. Well, today... Community dynamics, citizens. Community dynamics. So, what I did was I broke it down. Steve, if you, some of these things aren't 100% agreeable by everybody, but I put it into the best
definition that I thought was suitable for, and then I have a quote by John D. Rockefeller Jr. that is phenomenal, phenomenal. But civic duty. What's civic duty? The responsibilities of a citizen. We live in communities. We live with neighbors, and we commingle. We work, co-workers. We are. You're always going to be in a community unless you're one of those mountain men or something, And even if they have their community.
He does. I mean, he's got his bear community. Never mind. Right. The bear come out. He's got to be friends with the auditors and all that kind of stuff,
He's like, man. Squirrels, where's the nuts?
For real, though, man. I mean, when it's a community, it is a community, man. And anytime you can help flow within the community, it makes that community stronger. And can you imagine if everybody started to help flow?
Exactly. And so the civic responsibility, duty, obligation, or responsibility, the social force that binds you to courses of action demanded by that force. Now, this is our society right now is a perfect example of a reflection of this, because the social force that binds you to the courses of action demanded by that force. So if you live in a community where everybody mows their lawn, perfect example, my cousin Skippers, what's up, Skippers? My cousin John Skipper, his wife Ashley, they got a beautiful family.
Hey Skip, hey Ash.
I went over there. I like, spending time with, my fam and, people like that are on that path. They're doing things like how they, pursuing that. So that's beautiful. But so he's like, I gotta mow my lawn, and I had my son with me, and he has kids, so they were all playing. So I was helping him with this yard stuff, I didn't have to, but it's like, let me help my cousin get it in, make it. So then I ended up recruiting all the kids, like, hey,
there you go.
Why don't you guys pick up all this trash around the, help out your uncle, help out your dad. Let's do this real quick, then we can play some football or something, And so we got that done. But you know what, Steve? Everybody else's lawn that needed some, guess who came outside and started doing their lawn? Yes. The people that they're like,
They will follow suit.
They will follow suit.
They will.
And that is the social force that binds you to courses of action. You keep your lawn mowed, your neighbor is going to look at your lawn like, that looks nice. I should do something like that. It's an inspiration.
Right, and it's not like a trying to keep up with the Joneses. It's like, let's keep this community looking good. So if you got a guy out there, well, I got to be like that. Well, you know what? That's the wrong way to think about it, man. It's like, keep the community looking good. And, guys, I'm no better than anybody else. I'm not. I'm not. But, like when I walk out of a Walmart, or if I come out of wherever I'm at, a Bag and Save, a mall, whatever, and I see trash in my path, I'll pick it up and I'll throw it away. I'll take that cart that I see at Walmart, that's free floating cart, I'll put it back.
Exactly.
That's what I'll do. I mean, it's just me keeping my community, together as much as I can. I'm only one guy, and that was cool how you had the family come out and operate as a team, as a group.
Well, exactly.
And made a game out of it, got everything done.
Yeah, well, they got a little overzealous with the hedge clippers, because I got my machete. I mean, I was doing like
machete.
I was bushwhacking straight up. I'm like, and trying to get this root from. Yeah, that was really. I was so tired.
That's good though, man. Production, man. Production is the basis of morale.
This quote I found this is John D. Rockefeller Jr. If you don't know who Rockefeller is, then you need to check. I mean, one of the families that built America. Corporate-wise, and just he did a lot. This is his son. He said, "We must instill a sense of duty in our children. Every right implies a responsibility, every opportunity an obligation, every possession a duty. So, just because you exist doesn't give you have the right to pursue happiness as a human being. It's not just an American right. It's just like the right of a human being, like be happy, but you have to have a sense of duty, because every right is a responsibility. We have the right to drive cars, but you have to have a sense of responsibility with that. You can't that's why we don't drive into each other.
Yeah, amen. And there's rules and regulations that you have to go by, and they're not. So I want to go with this real quick, and then I'll get back to that.
Okay.
And this is going to sound so opposite, but it's the complete truth, and this is no joke. The more responsible that you are, the freer that you are. The less responsible that you are, the more you become trapped.
Right.
Okay? And what I mean by that, we see a guy going out and he's not being responsible for anything, he's not being responsible for his life. Say his taxes,
Right.
his license plates. He's not being responsible. Well, guess what? Who's coming after him? He's got to look over his shoulder constantly, see if there's an officer going to say, "Oh, am I going to get busted with these tags?"
Exactly.
Man, am I going to be, oh, my taxes, So he's trapping himself by not being responsible. And that's as far as I'll go on that, because that gets to be a real deep subject. But the more responsible that we are, the freer that we are.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That is very true. I'm a lot more freer than what I used to be. Because I used to trap myself with all these, barriers, and it's like, I gotta have things like this. I'd be riding around with all kinds of crap in my car.
Yeah,
but
man.
then I'm like, when a cop gets behind me, I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm like,
you're trapping yourself. And
yeah,
maybe
and I did that.
Exactly.
I could have been more strategic, but I was being lazy, and I was being, just one-track minded with it.
Right.
Like I couldn't, no foresight.
Right.
It's just like, and then when you're sitting in jail, you're like, I wish I would have.
And
you always hear that. I wish I would have.
Yep.
So what I started doing was, before I would do pretty much anything, I would think I'd go through, I wish I would have. That could happen. And now it's automatic.
Yeah.
I don't even really thinking about stuff like that. It's like, so I don't do a lot more I wish I would have.
You're just doing
I
it.
just say
man.
I could have, but not I wish I would have.
Right.
Because that's wishful thinking.
Right.
Is for fairy tales. So
Right, and sometimes the being has to go through a learning process. He does, or she does. We all do.
yeah,
We all have to learn.
well, you just can't go through life and not learn. And we talked about that.
Right.
It's like, what are you going to teach your kids? You can't teach them anything because you don't know anything.
Right. So we were talking about rules and regulations, right, before I went off on the responsibility thing. Okay. So and it's not like a suppressive type of rule or anything like that. Like let's take a car, for instance. Okay. So if we're out driving, okay, so the only way to communicate with that car to let somebody know that you're turning is to have that blinker on. The car can't talk. Right?
Exactly.
Right. So it's basically, and it's a good law for protection. Use your blinker. That way you don't turn in front of somebody, or somebody doesn't think that you're not going to turn when you are, and bang, right? So that's a law that you have to turn your blinker on. So it's not, when I'm talking rules and regulations, I'm not talking about you do this, or this is going to happen. It's to keep the community safe, pretty much. But we all know that there are some laws that get ridiculous, or that get passed ridiculously on just some idiotic assumptions.
Well, there's a difference between regulations that make the community safer, and then laws that bind people
That try to suppress
them.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
I mean, one of my big ones is, okay, think about it like this. There's a federal ban on cannabis. Okay. I broke down the dynamics of this because this is really what people need to think about when they even if you don't agree with, or even if you don't smoke, if you know somebody that does smoke, if you know they're sensible people, they're capable of doing their job, okay. Now think about how a lot of companies right now, they drug test. What do they drug test for? Marijuana. And to me, because it stays in your system for 30 days. You can't, So even if you smoked 20 days ago, you might not smoke every day. You might smoke on the weekends. You might, and that's your business, That the federal government has no business, boom, you can't do this and blah, blah, blah. And it's never been proven harmful to human beings. But it's illegal. And that puts people in that situation. So even though there is a large number of people They'll ride around and be smoking a joint, but you'll get pulled over. You'll get a $300 fine now. It's $300. I don't know anybody that can pay a fine like that and be cool. So that's what I'm talking about, the suppression and the keeping you on a, like, but these rules and regulations are to, perfect example, last night this guy almost ran into us. Running a red light, trying to because it started hailing a little bit, and he almost broadside on my side. And so when I get out the gas station, I'm like, hey, man, I don't care if it's hailing or not. You don't endanger other people by driving like a prick. I was like, watch what you're doing. And then he calls me an asshole. I'm like, excuse me? And so then here comes the old Vendetti.
Hold on. Here comes the overt motivator. You did something to me. I'm doing something to you.
And then you want to talk to me like that, and there goes that conflict dynamic again. And I'll tell you what, I was on the really ugly side of it. I was like, dude, you need to drive away. Straight up. I was like, I'm done talking. And I'm getting rained on. Like, I don't care. I'm just like, I'm looking like a madman. I still got my sunglasses on. I'm not even thinking about anything. I just jumped out of the car at the gas station. I'm like, hey, dude, like, what's up?
Right.
But, community dynamics. You know, every right, a responsibility. Be responsible. Pay attention. You're not the only person in these streets, in a house living, that goes to work, that has kids, that a lot of us do. A lot of us care about the same stuff. We just don't talk about it, because we're not a community that really commingles like it should.
Yeah. And, the whole thing is guys, we've got to work together. We just do. Nobody can do it alone. We got to walk out of this trap as a team.
A team, straight up.
Straight up.
Because when the more detached citizens become from each other, I mean, that's what the government wants. It's easier for them to control people when they are scattered and they're not a collective. They're not worried about. Sure. That's why they got all these distractions. There's, a ton.
Yeah, you can go off. I see you wanting to go.
A ton.
I see you wanting to go.
Other people say it's like, how often do you wake up and in between everything that you do and then go to sleep, how did you better your community that day? At all, if you did, And I think everybody has a responsibility, even if it's just a little thing. Holding the door open for an elder, showing respect. Other people see that. Youngsters under you will see that. And they'll be like, you know what? And if you have respect, that's going to carry on to them. They're like, he's a respectable guy. And he's out here, I respected him as this guy out here in the streets, but I see he's this other, what I'm saying? And that will carry a long way. Yeah. It's contagious.
And it really is. And so now you're getting into social manners, those go a long way. So, guys, and not everybody, a lot of people have lost it. Like when your lady friend comes in, or a person that you respect comes in to the room and you're sitting there, it's pretty good to get up and stand up and wait till they sit down and then sit down right after them.
Right.
That's class, man. That's social manners, and that's very gentlemanly like as well. Fellas, you can still do that without losing your cool. You can still be cool, do that. Matter of fact, make you more cool when you do that.
Right.
I'm just saying, man.
I mean, that's what, for real. If you want, because the type of lady you attract, it's like the law of attraction. If you're out there, no mannerisms, just, 100% slang all the time, you can't
guess what you're going to get
properly. Guess what kind of chick you're going to get. And then guess what kind of kids you're going to have, and guess what kind of kids you're going to raise. So if you're,
law of attraction.
In a mode like where you're like, I want a nice girl. I don't want a hood rat. Some people like hood rats. I mean, I'm not one to knock somebody for what they like, but I'm saying if you want a real woman that is, a woman to be respected, where it's like You know, if somebody calls her a bitch, they have no validation for that.
Right.
It's like, nah, dude. Like you got her mixed up with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you defend her honor, you're not feeling like, you know, nobody does that for a hood rat.
Mm-hmm.
Like
they really don't. So what Joker's saying is, with the law of attraction, if those of you who don't know, Bob Proctor, Rhonda Byrne, Bob Doyle, law of attraction is phenomenal, and it's a basic law of the universe, and it just states that like attracts like. So what you think about, you bring about. So if a guy says he wants this, and he's acting a complete certain way, well, basically he's going to get it the way he's acting. He can say it all he wants, but when he actually puts thought and he puts his emotions and his mass behind his thought, I know that was a little deep, but that's all right.
It's deep.
You just you put what you want in front of your face and you go for it. If you want a beautiful, beautiful soulmate, then you write one down on a piece of paper and you will get it. But if you're acting a fool, remember, like attracts like. And that's with anything.
Friend, peers, you know, job,
houses, money,
yep,
cars.
all that.
Yeah, you want a nice car, man? Put it in front of your face.
I need to put it.
Draw it up.
I need to put a couple in front of my.
Me
face.
too. As a matter of fact, Joker. I think I've been using it because it's time for me to get a new car.
For real, what you gonna do with you? You gonna trade it in?
Well,
What
the Cadillac is overheating and I can't quite figure it out. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go to CTS, man.
Yeah. Oh snap! CTS.
I know. Yeah, CTS. Yeah,
I'm gonna be riding with Steve from now on.
You're darn right. And it's see, it's white. It's got tan interior, nice stereo system, nice GPS, and it's quiet above all. Ride's so quiet, you got to hear it. You'd love it.
Mine doesn't. It's so loud.
But what you gonna get? Law of attraction. Boom.
You know,
Think about what you want, not what you don't want, and not what you don't have.
I really, 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 really like that new Lexus that came out.
Do you?
Oh my God.
They're nice, man.
But that is a lot. I mean, it's like it's not out of my reach, but it's just not in front of me.
Put it in front of you.
So I'm going to put that in front of me. I think I'm going to put that.
You know, and
all my citizens out there, help put that in front of Joker.
Yeah, well, you write it up too, man.
The law of attraction.
So
Joker, Lexus.
Let me do this one too. So just along the law of attraction. So it gets deep. You know, all the teachers, always talked about it. You had Gandhi talk about it. You had Buddha, Christ, Allah talked. I mean, everybody, all the great teachers, man.
All the teachers, all the prophets,
all the great ones, and they talked about it like this. And so you would say, if we looked at Christ, we would go, is in the Sermon on the Mount, and it was, you have not because you ask not, right? Okay, that's cool, right? We got it, all right? And where was I at with that one? I just lost it. Oh, it was a good one. What you think about, you bring about. Yeah, okay. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Well, the rich guy's thinking of riches, and what's the poor guy thinking?
Poorness.
Exactly. That's why he goes the opposite way. So just think of riches, man. But actually do it. And may your actions, being responsible in your community, treating others with respect, that comes right back to you. It really does.
Real talk.
And there it is, man. I mean,
real
that's
talk.
Straight up.
So, community concepts.
Mm-hmm.
I find a lot of this stuff to be interesting because the sense of community directly relates to social capital.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense, but it's in my mind it's wrong.
Okay.
Because that's why the law of attraction works in communities like that, because and a lot of people either don't want to change their community or don't want to break out of it because it's a comfort zone. Mm-hmm.
Some people are straight up, are lazy. Just,
Well, yeah. Up. I mean, if you really need government assistance and everything like that, then yeah, you need help. But I know some people that just straight take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Straight hustling and don't do a damn thing.
Right.
And man, kids are dumbed down. They're not learning anything. They're like leeches on the community.
And they're staying trapped because they're not taking responsibility.
Right.
And there can be an excuse for everything. Oh, my bunions are acting up. Oh, my foot's acting up, right? Oh, I got eurythmia. That's a little, no, okay, I got all that. But let's get down, guys. And, if you don't think you can do it, find somebody to help you do it and then get you back on your feet, man. That's what's up. Because you need the community to be the team. And I cut you off again, Joker.
Right. Did you?
Sorry, I did.
No, actually you didn't. I was just, that was it for that. Sense of community, social capital.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, right there.
I'm like, hey,
that's what I thought.
There's really not much more. That's like, and like I was saying about the social responsibility and the social force that binds you to the course of action demanded by that force, the social capital, because you go to some neighborhoods, they'll cut your damn grass. They'll be like, man, or they'll say something to you. They'll be like, man, can you, or they'll call the city on you, and the city will come cut your grass and then send you a bill for $500. So, that's another thing. I don't know if a lot of people know that. If somebody calls on your grass and it looks like it's like one of those nuisance laws.
Right, and that's true. And also you got to watch the extremeness of the other person too. So if that neighbor's calling that guy's yard and maybe he's got like a Vendetti, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So he's calling a Vendetti, and that would just be causing chaos in the neighborhood. So
exactly,
you don't know
dysfunction.
Yeah, you don't need that kind of crap going on, but you do need to take care of your yard. You don't have to. It's up to you, but looks better.
Right. And so I found there was a study done on communities, and they used the term because I was looking for stuff on community dynamics, and it was like dynamic learning communities, and I was like, that's pretty, because in some of the courses I take, there's the life cycle of a product, and so bless you. So from beginning to end, they think about sustainability, and they bring the builder, the engineer, everybody's in the same room as a dynamic learning group. And so before they even design it, or when the concept's there, they bring everybody in. They're like, what would be the best way to do this? And everybody gives their input, and it's way more efficient. So a dynamic learning community is the same thing. We are observing our community, right? Now, like I said before in a couple of the episodes, the responsibility of recognizing a problem and not doing anything about it is total ignorance.
Yeah, total omission.
Right. And even if you know somebody, and it's all about just speaking on it. Just speak on it. Boom. Hey, you know what? Something, I think that would be a good idea to solve this problem. This guy is really good at it. We should talk to him.
Yeah.
Or, okay, your neighbor's grass is too damn long, and he's like, I don't have a lawnmower. And you might not feel comfortable with a lawnmower, but you know a guy that has like 2 or 3 lawnmowers, he's trying to sell a lawnmower. Yeah. And you can even approach a guy like that. It's like, I don't know if you have a lawn, but if you need to buy one or borrow, or even,
borrow it.
There's
a lot of people out there.
Throw it in there like that. And he might have a lawnmower and he doesn't know, and something that's like, oh, the carburetor's a little dirty, Boom. Now your lawnmower works. It's because you communicated with your community and your neighbors, and you guys figured out something that was probably not even a big deal anyway.
Exactly.
But it is a big deal. Now you guys are neighborly, and you guys have a rapport. You guys have, So now when you see him, you can be like, hi, Jim, or hi, Frank.
Right. And now you have communication with him. You have affinity with him, which is a degree of likeness, and you have reality with him. And there you go.
Exactly. They really exist to you now. Yeah. It's not just a person you see going in and out of their house. And you're, I got, at my cousin's, there's these parents, their kids come over, because my cousin, they got a trampoline and, toys and all this other. So a lot of kids go over to their house. They're like the neighborhood house to go play at with their kids and stuff. So, I could tell some of these kids had a lacking sense of just, I don't know if it's you know, you see something go, like, we're all picking up the stuff, and there were a couple kids on the trampoline jumping around, and I'm like, hey, Little John, you can tell them to beat it. You know, this is your yard, and this is your stuff. Like, if you're working and your friends over here playing with your stuff, I was like, you have the right to tell them to beat it until I'm done, or help, you know, because I said that is not. But he was like, no, that's okay. He was like, we'll be done in a little. You know, he's really a good dude. But I had to let him know, it's like, if you think it's unacceptable, don't feel bad about sending somebody home. You know, say, I'll play with you later. I'm busy helping my uncle and my dad. You know, so, but there are these kids, and a car pulled up in the front because I was playing basketball with him, and he was still in the back, and I was like, you know, who's this? He was just sitting in the street, and then a couple of the kids ran up to him, and I didn't know who they were, so I'm like, you know, I got my cousin, I'm like, who's these people? He was like, oh, that's their parents. He was like, I ain't never met them. He was like, they come and pick them up and just drive off. They never said hi or whatever like that. I'm like, for real? He was like, man, they don't even know me. Their kids over here all the time. He was like, I could be a child rapist. I could be beating my kids' asses, and they don't even know. Yeah, you know. And I'm like, damn, those are really crappy parents.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I couldn't go anywhere unless my parents met the other parents and talked to them for a little bit and kind of felt them out. And it's like, okay, they're not scumbags,
right? Make sure they weren't dealing meth right beneath your nose, right?
Exactly. I mean, there's all kind like.
Oh yeah, I've seen it, man. I mean,
the Ohio thing. You know, I mean, just think if kids were playing that went to the neighbor's house next door and they were always playing there. I mean, next door to a child snatcher, and nobody really. And that's what happens in communities when people don't communicate straight up. I mean, I bet you can go to any part of any city. Any part, the good part, the ghetto, where rich people live, whatever like that, take a 4-block radius. I guarantee you there is a molesting scumbag in one of those houses in a 4-block radius. They're everywhere. I mean, it is not safe like it used to be, because it used to be people weren't so detached. People weren't so into their own house. Their own their PS3s and their, you know, their big screens, and like they're in the house. Nobody's outside anymore. Nobody's looking around. Nobody is checking things out. You hear, we were outside smoking a cigarette, and you can just hear a kid screaming inside of a house from somewhere. And he was like, man, I hear it all the time from the house, because they were fighting the night before when I was over there. The guy in it, and I'm like, damn, dude. I was like. Every night? He's like, yeah, the cops be down there, and they got kids. I'm like, that is just... And a part of me wishes that I can just, like, go talk to people like that and be like, hey, man, like, what's the issue? Like, you know, this isn't healthy for your kids at all. I mean, your kids are going to grow up and be like you, and I see that, and I don't appreciate it. I don't like it. And I'm not going to look at it and not say nothing. Straight up. Like, that's how I feel now. And I mean, I don't know. It pisses me off.
Well, and they'll go, but you don't have no business telling me how to raise my child. Well, you know what?
Actually, I do.
And he does, because guess what? I don't want that child out on the streets, endangering me or my family.
Exactly.
I don't want him growing up to be a criminal. Not saying he's going to be one, but he grows up in an aberrated environment, and aberrated means not on a straight line. Of course, all families got a bunch of stuff, but when you have a chronically messed up, aberrated family, you're going to have a chronically messed up, aberrated child.
Guaranteed.
And I don't want that on the streets. I don't want that harming me when I'm taking my family out to Six Flags or Walt Disney World. I don't want some kid that has, been raised horribly. And it was a product of his environment.
Yeah, it's not even his fault, and that's what sucks.
Well, right, but he does have his own thing, and of course everybody's responsible for his own condition. But at that age, he's getting all this stuff slammed in on him. Yeah. He can't do anything, bro. He can't. He's 10 years old, and he's got to be told what to do, what to eat. How he's going to eat. How he doesn't have any self-determinism. Yeah. So now he's operating on other people's determinism, which were aberrated, and now he's going to come out here in society and try to aberrate my little universe? No.
Yeah.
No, ain't happening, baby. So sometimes you do have to stand up. Yes, you do.
And
Yeah, so like you were saying on that house, I mean, if you felt like you had to say something, I mean...
I've been a little more aggressive on, because this is what else happened. And I was with my cousin a couple of times. This happened. We went to the store. We're coming out. There's a guy pulling through the parking lot, and he's just looking at us like mugging us. And he has his son in the car.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him, and I look at my cousin. And I was like, "Did you see that?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I don't know why." And I was like, see, that's one thing that really irritates me. It's what is that? What is that mean mug? Why do you feel like you want to challenge and I'm like, most people aren't ready for a challenge when they do that. It's just programmed into them, and then
It's all
wondering
programmed.
why, like, they get drug out of the car and beat up or worse. And you got your son with you, and you're trying to act hard. Instead of being like, "What's up, man?"
So...
And you're showing your son that.
Yeah, and it's a total contra-survival act. And you can tell a person by, does this guy do more destructive acts or does he do more survival acts?
Right.
And if he does more survival acts, and hey, everybody will mess up. I mean, I do it. I mess up, man. I'm sure Joker, I don't know. You mess up? Everybody
I
messes up.
saw this
is what
young
I'm saying.
cat yesterday.
Well, hold on real quick.
Oh.
So everybody, and I'm with you, everybody messes up. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. But you want to do more survival acts than destructive acts. And the guy riding around with his kid, mean mugging Joker, what's he showing the kid? Another destructive act.
Yeah.
That's what he's showing you, man. Or showing his
I don't
kid.
even know what he said to his son after we walked past. He could have been like, "Punk ass, dirty some stone." And it's probably because he was in a bad mood over something else.
Who knows? It could have been anything.
And it's like, but why carry that? I mean, I'm really guilty of that. Sometimes carrying, some BS from one situation to another one. But I've learned to check myself more and more on that, because that is so destructive. And when people sense in your voice that hostility, or even just your bodily, actions, you're just like, moving around all aggressively, and you're just like,
It's all that
what's he all
reactive-
worked up for? Like, instead of like, yeah, man, like, you can talk about stuff that bothers you and still be pissed off about it, but you don't have to carry that, because that's contagious, like the law of attraction. If I'm talking to you and I'm like, "Man, yeah," and that was, instead of like, "Yeah, man, that was just," and I can't even believe that.
Can't believe that.
Yeah, and I'm smiling about it to see, even though I'm pissed off,
Right.
because I can still be mad and smile. I figured that out, but I'm still tricking my mind because I'm smiling, and it's like it's not a big deal.
Right.
And then 5 minutes later, I forgot about what the hell I was mad about.
Right, and and you're getting self-control, and and Joker, just like we were talking, I think it was show number 1, we were talking about the reactive mind. It's wonderful when you have a person that acts more analytically than reactive.
Right.
But like we were saying, I think that was show number 1 or 2, is that society's becoming much, much more reactive. Boom.
Oh yeah.
Mad, and I'm gonna go ahead and go off for a minute. Mad, pissed. I'm in my car with my kid. Man, I'm not having a bad day. Joker comes by me in a car, and I'm gonna mean mug him.
Right.
I mean, really, dude. Come on.
Hey, you don't even know that man.
I know, and he doesn't even know what he's mad about. More than likely, he's
Right.
just pissed at something, right? And he's reactive. He's reactive time bomb. And we don't need that going around, guys. We need to act analytically, not reactively, right? And you know what? I know it's hard. I do. I mean, I've seen it. People are pissed, and they get depressed, and they get all this and all
Rush
that.
hour.
Rush hour, and we do. And rush hour does stink. Atlanta. You ever been in Atlanta rush hour?
Oh hell no.
I have.
I wouldn't survive.
Cars
it.
on fire.
Or
and
somebody
shit.
wouldn't survive it.
Hey, that road rage.
I got
Now-
serious road rage.
Right, and so all that stuff, you guys, it's reactive stuff. So I handle all that stuff down in the Midwest Life Center. That's what I do. I take all the charge out of the reactive mind, so a man or woman or child can operate at an anicalil level, which is a smarter level than the reactive level. The reactive mind is stupid. The reactive mind is A equals A equals A equals A, which means that pack of cigarettes equals Joker's black shirt equals my golf shoes equals my club equals why I'm pissed off because that light's on. That's how dumb it is. I mean, that's how it goes, man. I mean, that's how the reactive mind works, man. And, you know, like I said, I'm only one. I'm standing up, and I'm trying to help people get this thing out of them, or get rid of them, get it out of them, so they can act analytically. So when that guy goes by you, Joker, with his child, he goes, "Hey, Joke, what's happening?" This is Tim. Tim, tell him what's up. You know?
Yeah.
Instead of mean mugging you.
Yeah.
Go,
Yeah.
I guess.
And this is chemistry right here. And this is
Okay.
basic chemistry. You can check this out. Research what happens when two really reactive chemicals combine.
Exam.
You don't want to be close.
You know, that is awesome. If may I expound again? I think it was show number 2. We were talking about the group dynamic, right? Which were the bars, right? And remember when I was telling you know, it's becoming more and more reactive out there, even on the streets, even as you walk down, let alone in a bar when somebody's drinking, right? Okay, so put two reactive minds together and
Boom.
put some more chemicals in there, too.
All the chemicals.
Exactly, dude.
It's
You
like,
nailed,
wow.
you nailed it, baby. You nailed it.
That unstable atomic element just got really more unstable when we added this to it.
Exactly.
Let's just give that beaker. Let's pour that on there too. See what happens.
Exactly.
Ooh, boom.
You got any iodine? Let's watch.
Yeah, but if we can get communities to be more dynamic learning. So we start maybe a discussion group on Google Plus, and it'll be, you can call it Dynamic Learning Group 1. And so what we would do is you go on there, we'd post a discussion, we would talk about it. Other people, you know, it's like we would like, hey, you have a certain set of skills. You seem. Would you like to join this dynamic learning group that we just, you know, just talk about, you know, things in general and kind of.
Right.
But then bring that to where you live.
May I?
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct. Because a theory is only a theory. I mean, I love theory, but you know what? Theory is no good to me if I cannot apply it. It has to be applicable theory. If it doesn't, then just cool. Yeah, whatever. I mean, people can talk about this, that, whatever.
Theory.
What does? Yeah, theory, which is cool. Which is, I mean, it's great. It's great to look, you know, at different angles. But let's make sure that that angle actually works, and you're not just talking to talk.
Exactly.
It's got to be a workable theory, and it's got to be provable in the streets. The common man has to be able to use it to make his life better.
Exactly. I mean, because a dynamic learning community isn't comprised of all professors and teachers and people that have degrees.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's useless without the guy that's damn near homeless that has the crappiest shoes you've ever seen falling apart holding up a sign in the street. He needs to be a part of that too, because guess what? That dude knows something. You know what he knows? He knows what not to do again. Like, and
Amen.
you know what I'm saying?
You ain't
He can
joking.
tell you. He'd be like, "This is how I got here," and
Right.
you can be like, "Well, that's not what I'm going to do."
Right.
So everybody's learning from that. He could have been a broker, you know, on Wall Street, and
He should have came and saw me before he went down the tubes, man. But, I mean, really, you know, because he's got his stuff, too. You know, he didn't take responsibility for something. You know,
Right.
Wife could have left him, could have broke his heart like a whatever. But he's in that position. But like Joker said, he can tell you what not to do.
he can tell you what not to do. Be like, that I let that emotional distress get to me so hard that I took my focus off of my job, and then I lost everything.
Off of myself, I didn't.
And I could never get back to where I was at again.
I gave up my power, is what he did. You know, he just
Exactly.
did. He gave his
But
power.
you drive past him and you look at him and be like, scumbag, holding up a sign. Why doesn't he get a job? Why doesn't he, you know? It's like, you don't know what his story
You know,
is.
yeah.
He could be an amazing person. He could be the most influential person you've ever met in your entire life.
He could.
Or he could just be nobody.
Or
But
he
you
could,
never know.
Right. Or he could be the guy like this. And the only reason you're going to know is if you ask and communicate. Now,
Exactly.
I saw one, Joker, this was awesome. I was in Kansas City,
Yeah.
right, around 39th and Broadway. And I'm in this parking lot, right, and this guy comes up. I mean, he's homeless. Had to have been, right? Now, I'm a good-hearted man. I am, and you know that.
Right.
And I try, but I also have, there's certain, I got things that you got to be truthful with me, baby.
Right.
That's what's up. So he goes, hey, man, he says, you got $1? I need $1 for a sandwich. I'm like,
Yeah, right.
man, and I didn't. All I had was my credit card, and he wasn't getting that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a cool guy, but I ain't that cool, So it so happens that I was down there doing some stuff. So I had a lunch basket.
Right.
It was about 6 at night. It was full of sandwiches. Man, I don't have a buck, but I got this sandwich, and this is no joke. I don't want that sandwich. Get away from me.
Right.
I'm like, man, he was gonna take it and go mess up someplace.
Right.
I don't know what he was gonna do
It's
with
like,
it.
I'm one more dollar closer to a crack rock.
But he lied to me.
Mm-hmm.
So get on out of here with your
But
bad
it's,
self.
I mean,
You be truthful. Come talk
it's
to me.
inherent in the character of that. I mean, I mean, you have your experience with drug addicts, and I have my experience
Sure.
with drug addicts. But to me, most of them are unsavable. They let it consume them so much. They've damn near given up their kids and everything else they got, and they're in this abyss of hopelessness.
Yeah, baby, they got to bottom
and
out.
self-loathing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even want to get out because the only thing that they have is that drug now because they screwed everything else up.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't really have anything to work towards. I mean, unless they want to better themselves, and 90% of them don't care about that.
Yeah, and Joker, on that note, I mean, we could get hellaciously deep on that.
Yeah.
We could. We could, man.
On just that far.
On
down addiction.
on that far. That
Have you ever
stuff,
brought somebody out of an addiction that was where they totally were, I mean, rock bottom, health shot, and just they've lost all their family and really didn't have anything else to. Well, actually, if they're coming to see you, they obviously have something to, unless it's for court.
Or to get better,
Yeah.
or just to go, man, you know what? I think I could. Something tells me I could be doing better. Well, you can be. I mean, yeah, this is.
Well, yeah, that's called your common sense saying, dude, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just getting some
Like,
stuff
you
off.
can
too.
be doing better.
Yeah, everybody's got case. I don't care who you are. You listening, you have your case. I've got my case. Joker has his. Everybody on the planet's got case. Some just have more than others, and we just help them with that,
yeah.
get it off, and then you. Everybody's got it. Everybody's
I
got
got, people have no idea. I suffer from serious depression and anxiety,
Yeah,
multiple personality disorder.
You coming in with me?
I'm bipolar as hell, but
Oh, I didn't know that. All right, cool.
oh yeah.
Well, come on, see me then. Baby.
If there was a camera observing me throughout my day,
Right.
I swear to God, Steve, you'd be like
Okay.
you wouldn't even believe it. Like
All
the
right.
stuff that comes out of my mouth is when I'm by myself, when I'm enraged, and when I'm not even a person. It seems like it's just, and I'm thinking, and there's me inside of me like, damn, I'm messed up.
It's
I
like-
need to,
yeah.
But then this dude is too powerful sometimes. The other guy inside, and he's like, shut up, sit down, and
The real you is
the
gone.
real me is like, okay, like it's, but I've been trying to contain that and understand it and deal with it as best as I can,
Right on, Joker.
without medication.
Right. Well, exactly. I don't.
Without medication?
We ain't doing medication, baby.
We ain't doing medication.
We're doing. When I bring a client in, right? And Joker, anytime you want to come, baby, I would be more than happy. Yeah, you blow you. Yeah. Seriously. So my thing is, and I'm going to answer the other question that you answered me too about clients coming in who are all messed up and rock bottom.
Yeah.
But my thing is nutrition. I mean nutrition, because here's what's going down with 90% of the stuff. You got a guy that's he comes in, he's depressed, and he's on stuff, right? The doctor says, here, take this. They don't know what the hell that stuff does. They don't. Ask them. Guys, I've got DVDs, I've got doctors swearing by that stuff. They don't know what it does. They do not know what it does. So anyway, well, what we do know that it does is it supplies dopamine from the pill itself, right? So, and all that's doing is taking away from the brain, where the brain's not producing its own protein and its own dopamine. So, to make a long story short, nutrition, protein, fruits, vegetables, protein, fruits, vegetables, everything. And we're talking nutrition, man. You get it up, the person starts producing their own dopamine out of their own brain, because what was going on is the pill was doing it for them, and the brain just said, you know what? I don't need to do it anymore. So let me wait on this pill.
Right.
And guess what the person gets addicted to? Oh, my God. Yeah, you got it.
I need a freaking Xanax.
Yeah, that's right, brother. So, Joker, yes, a life enhancement center, and these are my people. Remember you were talking about groups?
Right.
Basically, it's a mastermind group, right? So what happens is, if I have a client that and these guys are trained, I mean, like, I get goosebumps just talking about them. And that's Les and Anita up in the Life Enhancement Center of Coeur d'Alene. And that's where I got my training
Where's
from.
it at?
Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Okay.
Yeah. So they train me, right? And so they basically are my case supervisors. So if I go, you know what, Anita, what's the best way to approach this one? Well, we could do this, you know, and it's like, and then I make the decision on how we're going to do it. We do it, and it works. So I've got my own mastermind group, and we've got our own people that, you know, if I've got a client, you know, we're backed 110% by some of the best in the world, man, and that's no joke.
That's what's up.
You know it, baby. So, yes, so at the Life Enhancement Center of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and we do a detox up there. Okay, so Narcanon, right? We do the same thing Narcanon does, right?
I know about that place.
Yes, and that was developed by L. Ron Hubbard, and the government's got it. It's Narcanon, and what it does, it's a body detox, is what it is, right? And the body detox basically takes all the drugs out of the system, and it's a sweat program with sauna, but nutrition is on the point, okay, and everything is done on point. It's used niacin and all kinds of vitamins, oils, and
Niacin burn.
oh yeah, you would be amazed. You'd be amazed.
I've done it before.
Right. So, but this is done very, very methodically, and it's done right. So they take the person through the program, right? So as they go through the program, they up their niacin, but they up their vitamins, they up their oil, right? Boom, 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 boom. It goes up, and the person basically detoxes them. All that stuff, all that crap, the meth, whatever, the pot, the NyQuil, the fertilizer, the stuff the guy smelled, the fire he was in, all those particles, they get trapped in your fat.
Yep.
Right? So when the person's done with the program, he knows that he's done because he feels toxin-free.
Word.
Then
when you're toxic free,
then you can start getting yourself better.
Right. And then you can participate positively in your community dynamics.
There you go.
You can be a part of a dynamic learning community.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it.
Positive.
I mean, guys, it is just hellacious. It's when I say that, I've said that word twice today, but no joke, it is on point, baby. So if you guys are looking for any of that out there, go to MidwestLifeCenter.com.
Check them out.
We'll help you out. For sure.
Then we can get to their community duties.
Just start expanding. Boom,
yeah,
man.
You can start talking to people, and people will see it in your eyes. Your eyes are clear. Mm-hmm. Your speech
thought
is
process is clear.
You know what's going on.
Yeah, you're precise. You're thinking.
And you're positive.
Yeah.
So they say, like, in these communities, dynamic learning communities are groups of people who form a learning community, generally get characterized by the following: distributed control, commitment to the generation and sharing of new knowledge, flexible and negotiated learning activities, autonomous community members, high levels of dialogue, interaction, and collaboration. That's everybody coming together, talking, working out ideas and solutions in a shared goal, problem, or project that brings common focus and incentive to work together. Because I have a platform like that. I call it Citizen Movement Coalition, and it's a formation of subcommittees, and they're assigned duties and mission statements to pursue. It's like, this is what this subcommittee is going to do. We're going to work on getting more nutrition into neighborhoods that don't have grocery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I do.
That, like you were talking about the nutrition, and that's, you know, in a lot of these communities, there's not even available, you know, nutrition that, like fruits and, you know, they were like in New York City and some of the boroughs, like and in the ghettos, they have the corner stores you can buy, you know, pork rinds and pig's feet, and, but you can't get an apple or a banana or an orange, you know. And there have been some people that have formed groups that, you know, go to, and they're like, look, we want to bring, you know, introduce fresh fruit, you know, vegetables, you know, to your marketplace. And, you know, and a lot of them, you know, are participating, and now they have bananas and apples and, you know, oranges and stuff like that. So you get, you know, you take care of that. When a healthy mind is a positive mind.
And it is. It's not going to be thinking all kinds of, I can't do this, can't do that. Healthy, but come on, let's go.
I know when I'm hungry, I'm a prick.
Right, and yeah.
Like, straight up. If I'm malnourished, and I was a jerk this whole week because I couldn't eat right.
Yep.
And that had a lot to do with it. I was malnourished.
And, you know, and truth be told, and I will always tell it, I mean, I was on steroids in high school and college, right?
Yeah.
And I was. And I tell you what, don't dare get hungry on the roids. I turned into a horrible, horrible man. Seriously, man, gross. But yeah, when you're hungry, that just shows you.
Okay, this was a good example of. We talked about this earlier when I was explaining the DLCs. So it says distributed control.
Hold on. When he says DLCs, he means dynamic learning community.
Dynamic learning community.
Yep, dynamic learning community. Okay. DLC.
So in a typical classroom, the teacher is in charge. The teacher makes all the important decisions, such as what to teach and how to teach it. In a DLC, nobody is in control. Everybody is. Conventions, shared understandings, rules for settling disputes, or for governing communications, all these are negotiated and agreed upon by the group as a whole. So are learning goals and methods. If one member has a different vision for where the group should be going, this is presented to the group and discussed. The community is bigger than any single member, yet it encompasses the perspectives of all members. So it's like having a city council within city councils, within city councils, within city councils.
Very democratic, if you would.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Joker, if okay, so Joke's got a new rap song coming out, right? Oh yeah, he's got a jam going on there. Okay, so he loves it, he likes it. Well, you got me going. You know, Joker, I think maybe there should be a bridge in there. What do you think, everybody? You know, put a bridge in that jam. See what happens. You know, something like that.
And it's like, oh yeah,
right?
That sounds much tighter.
Right.
I like that. Like, thanks for your input, Steve.
You're very, very welcome. Yeah, and you know, every decision is the right decision when it best suits the greatest good for the greatest number of dynamics.
You a Star Trek fan?
I do like Star Trek, yes. I like the old Star Trek. I like Captain Kirk, baby.
You like? Okay, I'm Captain Picard.
You like Picard? Okay, right.
Yeah, he's a stand-up dude.
Okay, right.
He was chivalrous, and he was
yes, he is.
My mom got me into it.
Okay.
When I was probably in the 6th grade or so, like that, and then through junior high, and then I kind of like found girls, and then I stopped watching.
Heck with Picard.
But
I'm gonna go talk to Susie.
I've always been a fan of the Next Generation Star Trek, and because when I watched it, and I never even realized it at the time, but they were a dynamic learning community, and you never heard about money, and I never thought about it. Have you ever heard about money in Star Trek? Have you ever talked about
when they were talking about the old Star Trek, when they were talking about tribbles, when those things mass produced, like they produced exponentially? Do you remember that? They were like little guinea pigs, but they weren't. They just like made squeaky sounds, and they would mate exponentially. So 2 would have 4, 4 would have 8, and they would just get crazy. And the guy's like, I want to make all kinds of money, but then he got overrun with tribbles. It was terrible.
Well, see, by the Next Generation, because I think that one was, I don't know how many years or thousands of years in the past before when they had the movie First Contact.
Jodie Foster.
Oh no, the Star Trek First Contact.
I'm sorry.
And it's what's that chick's name? She's played in a lot of stuff. But
the bald chick?
Yeah, she got real short hair. Black chick.
Uhura? No, yeah, her name was Uhura.
But
yeah,
They went back in time to the first space or warp technology. The guy figured out warp speed.
Right.
And she ended up getting transported from the up to the ship. She didn't know where she was at, and he was trying to, Picard's like this, and she's asking all these questions. She's like, "How much did this cost?" And he's like, "Well, it's kind of difficult to explain that because money doesn't exist in the future." He said, "Monetary gain is no longer a drive for people. We learn to better ourselves and better those around us." Mm-hmm. And I thought about it, and I was like, no, I was like, I never heard about talking about when do I get my paycheck and when do it, but all
money is a friggin' concept. It's nothing.
Exactly,
it's
nothing.
Friggin' nothing, man. I mean, it's nothing. It's not. You produce an effect and you get money. Wow.
Because let's just say, okay, the world we live in. When you went to school, when you started going to school as a kid, your aptitudes are being tested constantly. While you're learning social skills above everything. You're learning how to communicate more than you're not learning how to be physical. You're learning how to be a negotiator, how to be a speaker.
Right.
And so when you get to be 16, 17, whatever like that, they find out your real aptitudes and they're like, you'll be good for this. And this is what you're going to do. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Some people might call it communism, but I'm like, if you look at us today, we're so dysfunctional. Kids don't even want to know what the hell they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they want to do. They want to do what makes them the most money. That's what they want to do, and that is why they go
drive.
That's why they go to college, and they're like, I want to make as much money as. Then they get these big ass college loans, and then they understand that they just got screwed.
Right, and if that child could have his own self-determinism amped while growing up, he would know exactly what the heck he wanted to do.
Exactly, and he would pursue it. He would pursue it like he was going to be rich. But
He will be. I guarantee you, if he does what he wants to do and he's self-determined doing it, not unless it's a destructive act, that kid is going to make some cash. Guaranteed. And who cares about the cash? All he wants to do is produce the effect of his own self-determinism. His own self-determinism.
But what if money didn't exist, and you were, it's like, hey, this is what you can do for this amount because this is what you're good at, and this is what and if your aptitude to that anyway, it's what you're going to like to do. I mean, that's kind of like a no-brainer. If you're good at something, then you probably like to do it.
Yeah, and you have somebody that has a natural thing. God, I like math, but God, I'd rather be playing guitar. Well, what do you want to do?
But there's math in music, though.
And that's you know it, man.
So if you're good at math and you want to play the guitar, then you might like.
What's a third?
You can make a new guitar. You can create a new guitar.
You could.
A new type of guitar that does all kinds of weird stuff.
Genius, absolutely,
exactly,
for sure.
And so, the pursuit of financial gain for your livelihood. Because that's what people say. Oh, I lost my job. I don't have my livelihood anymore. Because you can't pay for all your crap anymore.
I know somebody exactly like that. Oh, God, yes. Absolutely.
So was that job really your livelihood? Or is all this crap your livelihood?
They mocked up that job was their livelihood. Well, I gotta do this. I gotta have all this money. I gotta have it. Well, you know what? Yes, money is wonderful. I love the stuff. I think it's great. I love to wallow in it. It's phenomenal stuff. But you know what? I use it to help people, man. That's not my sole drive in life. My sole drive in life, because I'd rather help. Because I know through law of attraction, as we were talking earlier,
right.
When I have what I want to do, I love to play music. I don't even think about the money, right? This is no joke, Joker.
Right.
I love music. I do. So, and I'm a DJ, and I love to help people. So I've got both flows going here, where the money just comes. You do what you love to do, and the money comes. I get paid well. I do. And when I'm getting this private practice rolling here, I love to do that, and the money's starting to come in that too. So I really don't even think about the bucks. But I know it's there. I love to do it. You love to do law of attraction states. You're gonna get it right back.
Yeah.
And when you can do it by helping others, it'll come back sevenfold. It just will.
Damn, we're out of time already.
Are you really?
Yeah, we're gonna have to like bring this back next week.
All right. Where are we at anyway? Learning community.
We're just on the definitions of DLCs. And
I think we're in learning communities where we were at.
Yeah. But I'm gonna leave them with. Well, while I look for it, make sure you guys go to OmahaHipHopAwards.com. Get your tickets. The Hip Hop Awards are in July. It's going to be at the DC Center, nice and extravagant, and
that's a nice place. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Played that many times.
This is going to be, last year was still fun, but this is going to be more of an extravagant. Like it's going to be, the bomb.
It's going to be a
Can
bomb.
I say bomb on the radio?
Yeah. TheAtomicBomb.com.
Oh my God, TheAtomicBomb.com. Check out OmahaHipHopAwards.com. You can also go to LGenius.com. Check him out. Check out Steve Lindsay, Midwest Life Center, MidwestLifeCenter.com. If you need some help with your addiction, you got some stuff inside you.
I will help you. I guarantee you.
He is the dry cleaners for the soul.
Mm-hmm.
So check him out. Check me out on Facebook, Vendetti's Block. You can Google me. I got all kinds of stuff going on. So, yeah, check me out. If you want to post something on Vendetti's Block, something you got, questions or anything like that, just post them right on the page. It's all good. We'll acknowledge them next week. I don't know if I've ever said that before because I don't have a lot of input for but I want some input from citizens. I want to know if this is helping you guys at all, if this is, let me know how we're doing. We're trying to help you. So, peace and love. Steve's DJing tonight at Bogey's. It's gonna be karaoke. I'm about to go up. I'm about to go up there. I'm gonna get on the mic tonight because I'm feeling way better than I've been this whole week.
Good,
I
get on the mic.
Drink 2 beers on Thursday. I was pissed off.
Right on. Yeah, and I've got my man Imperial out there, man. He's from California.
Imperial's coming up there?
Yeah, he always comes up now, and I found...
That's my boy.
I know, and he made a jam about the Phoenix, right?
Did he?
He did. So I found that one today, so I'm gonna go ahead and spin that one tonight.
Oh, yeah. You might have spent some up in the room, too.
Yeah, I'll spin up in the room.
Up in the room.
We'll do it, man.
All right. We love y'all. Take care of yourselves and each other. I stole that from Jerry Springer. Church.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Good to have you. Introducing the legend itself, non-profit prophet, the epitome representation of a citizen nation. Words encapsulate the many problems which we are facing. The engineer to the designer, the flame of the fire that forms a platform for citizens that elevate higher. The sound of the trumpet, warning war has begun between the rebel aliens and the ignorant ones. Bring my fellow citizens to the plane that I'm from, cause ignorance will leave your brain dead, same as a slug. A straight shooter focused like a laser, same as my gun. The epitome and summary of all the above. Bridging gaps like overpasses, hence I'm bridging the masses. Breaking barriers and walls and flipping ball with his smashes. I'm a general, a captain, a lieutenant, and leader. Since following examples of my citizen senior, the pillars of wisdom, my professors and teachers, all citizens, students to progressive procedure. Now I carry the torch, now prophet, and preacher, gatekeeper to the kingdom, epitome St. Peter, librarian, savior, Luciferian Jesus, with the power to convert you by the end of this thesis. Keep the words of the written in a reflective condition. Free your mind from any sense of interjecting suspicion. Keep your logic and reasoning, common sense in your wit. The only tools you need to have when your adventure begins. Pay attention, citizens, to the words that I'm speaking. Every Sunday at 4 o'clock, it's real talk on Vendetti's Block.